Hey, warning. Two idiots are reading that SCPs over the intercom. Stay tuned for more, kid. Hello, and welcome back to Discovering SCP. It's me, my name is Tanner.
And it's me, my name is Darnell, and I have to apologize, viewers, but it seems we found ourselves in a bit of a pickle here.
Can you hear the crashing of the waves, Darnell, from the ocean?
Yes, while Tan and I were trying to travel overseas, we were captured by some pirates, and they kind of stuffed us in this room, tied us up. I don't know what's going to happen to us, but hold on, what's that? I think I hear the captain coming.
Oh, fantastic.
Yar, me mateys! Can you take me to the land of the upvotes? I'll make you walk the plank.
Of course we can, sir. I'm sure Tanhoney has prepared some things just to that end, right?
Of course I have. I don't know how long we're going to keep doing the RP, but...
The RP is over now.
Please welcome our... Prepared? That's great. I can cut the voice.
Yes, please welcome our guest, CaptainKirby! Woo! Live studio audience.
You would never have guessed during the two things he said it was him.
I mean, there are so many other captains on the site. I'm sure.
Captain Cactus, Captain Sumerian,
Captain Sumerian.
Rules the universe.
Interesting. All right. Well, today, folks, Tanhoney, how many articles do you have for us?
We have one article, but before that, a word from our sponsor.
Oh?
It's not a sponsor. I'm just sort of making myself sound like more important. So Skiptember has begun, which is a thing Aphris is running over on Twitter. I was asked to mention it on the podcast. I said sure because I'm so nice. Mm-hmm. And basically what that is, it's every day in the month of September there is a prompt, and you go and read which is just sort of a tag on the wiki. You go and read an article under that tag, or write one, or draw one, and that's the Skiptember challenge. Can you keep up with it? Who knows?
That sounds fun. I wish the premise of the podcast didn't forbid me from participating.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
Okay, but everyone else should go do that.
That's for everyone else. That's for people, Darnell.
So Aethris gave you like $1 million for that, right?
They tell me about that.
All right.
Which you now owe me.
CaptainKirby, this isn't your first podcast rodeo, is it?
No, it is not. I used to run a podcast that we just don't put out episodes for anymore because we kind of ran out of the timing just didn't work out anymore. But I used to run a podcast with ARD or A Random Day called Object Class Podcast, where instead of like going through individual entries, we more just talked about the active writing for the site. And it was a lot more about our like writing process, and it was usually episodes based around certain aspects of writing an SCP or certain aspects of how you approach various Wikidot formatting tools and how you use those in writing an SCP, stuff like that.
Absolutely. That sounds freaking awesome, man. And I mean, I say this knowing that we do this as well, and I'm not downing anyone who does this like ourselves, but I feel like a lot of people do the whole reading the SCPs thing. So I think targeting something a little bit more fresh and about like writing and giving instruction. We tackled that a little bit in a series of our own, but I think that's a really cool thing, and I would strongly urge everyone to go freaking check that out after you watch this episode, especially if you are a SCP author or an SCP author in training. You have to get certified first. I don't know. Okay, so no more stalling. Article time, Tanhoney. Give me the link.
Of course. So yes, the article is called "Our Stolen Theory" by CaptainKirby.
When you said one article, I was curious. I was curious if you were going to choose one of mine, and if so, which. But this makes a lot of sense now that you would choose this one.
Tanhoney's DMing me. What is he DMing me?
I flipped between quite a few people to try and send it there.
Oh, it's like
I'm so busy because I get so many DMs.
Oh wow!
How popular!
He's so popular.
Thank you. I know.
Oh wow, this is a short one. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I see. There's a next one.
Yep, it's real short.
The rest, you can click that. I think that goes to a tale or something. I've never read past this bit. I still think it's pretty good.
Okay, all right. Let's give this a read.
Note: file under review. Investigation into the event is still underway. Information contained herein has not been confirmed. Event summary. On 2020-04-14, the database at Site-72 reported a series of unauthorized file creations and modifications, specifically the documentation regarding SCP-5552. All past information on SCP-5552 has been lost and possibly erased from the minds of personnel assigned to the project, as no individuals confirmed that the SCP-5552 slot had been previously assigned to Anomaly. The documentation itself has not demonstrated anomalous properties, however all have been tagged with an upload timestamp of 13:43:28, which is the same time as when Dr. Naman Gupta began a talk at the 6th International Conference on Physics titled A Comprehensive Theory on Bidirectional Temporal Travel. What follows are the documents that manifested as a result of this event.
So, traveling through time in two directions at the same time?
I don't know if necessarily at the same time.
It's bi-directional. You can go forward or backwards. Who knows?
I want to go forward and backwards.
Yeah. What about tri-directional? I want to go up.
Just stretch me out along the temporal axis a bit.
All right, and now we click next article, and we have a link to 5552, and it is it's pretty big.
Yeah, Donna, please describe this image to us.
All right, so have you ever heard of science before, idiot? It kind of looks like that. No, it looks like two, and I'm not trying to do a meme here. It looks like two spheres, two like balls, and there's like a little bridge between them, and then there's like larger parabolas around them that like expand, and then it says things about like the direction of time and space, and oh wow, this is like some science shit. Someone named Federico
Survey seems to check out, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, how would you describe it, Kirby?
Oh, I would describe it as essentially if you were to model like what a wormhole might look like, but instead with parabolas. It's a lot of parabolas. It's a lot of symmetry. It's a lot of very curvy shapes. Very sciencey. That's for certain. That's the most important thing. Is maximum science.
Absolutely.
I'm going to assume all the science checks out in this article.
And this is actually a -EX, which means it's explained now, right? So it's no longer technically an SCP. Is that how it works?
Yeah. No. This is all real, 100% accurate physics. Totally real.
Well, I mean, in the context of the SCP universe, it's like they treat this now as if it is a thing. Right?
Well, these are documents that have appeared, so this is the contents of that. Item number SCP-5552-EX. Special Containment Procedures. No answer. Description. SCP-5552-EX is the is that Wendell or Vendel? Because I know sometimes it's weird like that.
Ooh, I think so someone actually asked me this question before, and I gave them an answer to them. I'm trying to make sure I'm consistent. I think.
Make sure you give me the opposite.
I think it's Wendell conduit. I think
right.
that to be consistent with the other readings that there have been of this article, it's Wendell.
Gotcha.
No problem at all. It's the Wendell conduit, as described in A Comprehensive Theory on Bidirectional Time Travel, titled after the lead author on the paper, Jonathan Wendell. The Wendell conduit operates in a similar manner to closed time-like curvatures conjectured by Gödel. However, instead of operating like a wormhole might, which relies on an immense amount of energy to open, Wendell conduits are open and sustained through the vibration of Wennian particles, proposing an extension to standard model of particle physics. Wennian particles vibrate in accordance to an atom's wilt, proposed to be a property of matter like electrical charge or
so
mass.
many. Oh fuck! I'm getting lost in the terms. Oh no!
I told you this is science. This is pure science.
The captain's hitting.
You can actually do this. Like, you can do this at home.
Yeah, investigations
into connections between wilt and phenomena observed by anomalies of containment is ongoing. According to Dr. Wendell, the process for generating sufficient wilts to open a Wendell conduit is significantly less resource-intensive than the theoretical method for opening a sizable wormhole.
Okay, so wilt is sort of like a property of an atom, akin to electrons, but not quite.
It's like, have you ever heard of spin? Or like...
The spin.
Like from JoJo,
spin of a particle?
Oh, right, yes.
I mean...
I have heard of this. I have vague memories in chemistry, yes. So it's like something like that.
So full disclosure, I am not a physics major. I did some Wikipediaing to make sure that I was coming off at least somewhat consistent, but it's like that. Like certain particles have like certain spin or like a charge. Those are like considered like it's supposed to be a property like that.
So it's like a property of the atom itself.
Not of an atom much. It's like a property of a subatomic particle.
Okay, it said to an atom's wilt, so that's why I got a little confused.
Oh, right. No. You're right. You're right. Like an atom can have wilt. Yes. Sorry. I
was getting the wilt is like a subatomic. Okay, no, I'm getting you. All right.
Yeah. Of course, this will. You'll see how incredibly important this minute detail will be to the rest of the piece.
Yeah, I'm probably just getting stuck on something not relevant.
It's fine. It's fine.
No worries. So his favourite method of opening a wormhole. It's currently believed that Dr. Wendell is working in conjunction with the UN to create a practical time machine. Attempts to gain further information about this project have been hindered by GOC interference. Addendum 1. Below is a transcript from examinations of Dr. Wendell's paper to confirm its accuracy. Examination was led by the Cronus Project leads, Dr. Cindy Helsman and Dr. Naman Gupta. I'll hand this off to my other people on the podcast, so I don't have to do it.
Kirby, do you want to be Helsman or Gupta?
I think I should probably be Gupta.
All right, I'll be Cindy.
All right. God, this is hard to read.
I mean, yeah, it's bland, but it's not like we...
I mean emotionally, Cindy.
Oh, yeah, I should have guessed.
This is our research. Literally our research. I swear, half of these figures are copied straight from our draft.
I mean, we know that a lot of people have been working in this field. It was a tight race.
It's fucking bullshit is what it is. Did you see the look on this guy's face when he gave that talk? Smuggest piece of shit I've ever seen.
You know what? Hold on. I know we're in the middle of a reading, but can I make a fucking tactical guess? My guess is that these guys were writing this. Time travel was invented. This guy went back in time to steal it and take credit for the invention first. Calling it.
Let's just keep reading.
Final answer, locking it in. You told me that at the conference.
Alright. And also, he named everything after himself. Fucking Wendell Conduit, Wenion.
Wilt?
I think that's his dog's name.
Ah.
A dog. A fucking dog has more physics phenomena named after it than I do.
Well, maybe something in here doesn't work out. Maybe the reviewers missed something.
It's my research. I've checked everything as well as I've checked my own numbers.
Our research.
Huh?
It's not your research, it's ours.
Oh, right. Slip of the tongue, sorry.
It's alright. Helsman and Gupta return to reading the paper in silence. All that can be heard is a faint ticking from Gupta's pocket watch. Gupta finishes and looks at Helsman.
Well?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here either. It's alright.
Fuck.
We'll discover something else. We're persistent like that. Gupta leaves the meeting room, slamming the door behind him. Helsman sighs.
Following this meeting, the contents of Dr. Wendell's research was considered to be grounded well enough in our current understanding of physics to be considered explained rather than anomalous. Monitoring of the implementation of this research is to continue to ensure no additional anomalous phenomena are discovered in the process. Addendum 2. On 2020-0502, Foundation satellites detected a large visual disturbance in Nunavut, Canada. An area of 20 acres of land had become entirely black, including all flora and fauna residing within that area. Foundation personnel were dispatched to the location. Below is a copy of the report. Stevenson and I arrived at the scene around midday. Strange coloration we could see in some of the grass and the trees on the edges of the affected area, but 10 feet in, everything was completely black. Well, not that the material had turned black, it was more like the light wasn't even reflecting off the surfaces. The ground was sturdy to stand on, but organic matter didn't fare as well. It maintained its stability until we touched it, but even with a slight breeze and slight brush, entire trees crumbled. Or I guess they more melted, they just fell apart. Stevenson grabbed a few samples to test later. We reached the centre of the affected area. There was an opening in the ground, larger than a manhole. We didn't trust the ladder built into the hole's walls, so we tied up a rope and rappelled down. Everything in the hole was black too, except for the walls. At first we thought they were made of stone, but they were far too soft for that. The hallways of the facility were mostly empty, save for a few safety notices with GOC branding on them. We only found one unlocked door, labelled the primary construction bay. We decided not to go inside because the entrance was blocked by humanoid figures that had turned black like the trees outside. We didn't want to break them. Stevenson did manage to get some pictures of just inside the room. The place was packed, everyone cried around some sort of capsule in the middle, which was the only thing in there that kept its colour. We think the inside was occupied, but we can't say for certain. After being confronted with the report, a GOC official confirmed that this was a result of their efforts to realise the practical uses of Dr. Wendell's research. In order to avoid similar incidents regarding temporal research, the GOC agreed to transfer all documents and computations Dr. Wendell performed to the Foundation. That's right.
So they tried to utilize this, and they sort of fucked reality in a 20-meter radius.
It would seem so. Below is a transcript from the Project Cronus team during their meeting to decipher and understand the writings of Dr. Wendell, and I pass this back to my good friends.
Awesome. Helsman enters the room. Gupta staring at a whiteboard. Hey, Naman.
Hey.
I I know it must be hard to hear about what happened. Gupta remained silent. I mean, I was as confident as you were that our work was correct, and while it's terrible what happened to Wendell and everyone, I'm at least grateful we didn't have to experience our failures firsthand.
Dumbass.
Huh?
Wendell, he's a fucking dumbass.
This isn't the time for...
No, like, look here.
Gupta walks back to his desk and grabs one of Wendell's pages of computations.
For the decay constant, do you remember what we calculated that number out to?
Something like 14 decimals. Why?
Well, in the paper, it looked like he just rounded it to 3 significant figures, but he only used the rounded number in his actual math as well.
This fucking guy, amateur mistake. Sig figs,
Amateur.
High school? Wendell is a hack. Well, I mean, we only put the rounded numbers in the paper. Guess he didn't have our full data sets.
But you know what this means, right?
Hellsman pauses. After a moment, she smiles. It might still work.
They haven't scrapped their budget yet, right?
Not yet.
So, do you want to build the time machine?
You really didn't have to ask. Wait, are these guys with the Foundation, or are these just also scientists?
No, they're with the Foundation.
Pog.
Flash 3. Utilizing the remains of their budget, Project Cronus constructed a bidirectional temporal traversal device, BTTD, over the course of 3 months. However, upon completion of the BTTD, Dr. Gupta and Dr. Hellsman utilized the device without consulting the Foundation's Ethics Committee, the Catastrophic Phenomena Contingency Planning Group, or the Department of Causality Consistency. Below is footage from the security cameras at the time of the project's use.
I would like to just make an aside, and this is not at all Kirby's fault. This is an SCP fault. SCP does not have enough cool acronyms. Like, they name all their groups things that aren't fun acronyms. And, I don't know.
Wait, you don't like Foundation Ethics Committee? FEC?
Yeah, FEC. Yeah, or KPK.
Yeah, well, like, because fun is not necessarily part of the SCP formula.
It's true, but I think if it was, there would be less deaths, somehow.
But the GOC has fun acronyms.
Yeah, they do. Gupta enters the testing area for the BTTD at 2 a.m. He goes to the control panel and begins powering up the machine until Hellsman arrives at 2:08.
You're late.
And you haven't told me what you're doing.
I'm doing preliminary testing, and thought you should be here for the first trial of our project.
You're just going to use the time travel machine without telling anyone?
I'm telling you.
Naman.
You know no one would let me go back if I ask, and, well, I need someone to activate the machine after I get inside.
But why are you doing this? Official testing is starting in less than a week anyways.
Cindy, I'm stealing back our theory.
Excuse me?
Our theory. It has Jonathan's name on it. I'm stealing it back. I know it's been bothering you too. You pause a little every time you say Wendell Conduit. It keeps me up at night. He may have taken our work, but now we have a machine that lets us fix mistakes like that.
You know what's interesting? Okay, no, now I have a new theory, right? Because remember, they only found the bullshit about what's-his-face because he didn't do the decay constant. What if they fuck it up when they put it out, and then it's going to cause an accident somewhere?
I'm so intrigued to hear your evolving theories throughout this piece.
I'm learning. You sound absurd.
But you don't disagree.
God, this is so petty.
It's not petty. You worked on this for what, 5 years? Losing the product of 5 years of standing at the whiteboard, arguing over simulation results, and gathering test data isn't petty.
You know as well as I do that you can't control how much you change.
Yes, there's actions in life which set off long chains of events that have effects that no one could predict, yada, yada, yada. But for every one of those actions, how many others have almost no impact on tomorrow? If you arrived here 3 minutes earlier, that wouldn't change the conversation we're having now. Only so many actions can mean something. And for all we know, I could be avoiding catastrophes instead of starting new ones.
Oh, no! That doesn't sound very scientifically sound.
I've run some of the numbers. I'm almost certain that if I can just help us come up with some of our interpretations of the data a little faster, I can recreate everything without any significant difference up through us publishing our research.
How far back are you going?
January, so 8 months. Should give me enough time to speed our research along so we can publish in that particle physics conference in March before Jonathan is able to steal it.
Fine. Just promise me that we get co-first author.
That was always the plan.
Hop in.
Thank you so much.
Gupta enters the BTTD Traveler capsule, while Hellsman takes over the control panel. After Gupta is strapped in, Hellsman walks over to the Traveler capsule. Good luck!
I won't need it! I have as many tries as I need!
Hellsman nods and walks back to the control panel. That's the least comforting thing he could have said. Hellsman activates the BTTD. Power is drawn from the entirety of the site, causing the surveillance cameras to shut down. Oh, this is document 1 of 6? Oh god, oh fuck. Oh,
There's a reason why we only have one.
Oh, I just hope we can get through this before you have your thing to do today.
We should be fine. We should be fine.
Alright.
No worries. Well, back to me. So, item number SCP-5552, explained. Special containment procedures and NA. Description. SCP-5552-EX is the Gupta-Hellsman Gate, as described in a comprehensive theory on bidirectional temporal travel.
Base!
Titled after the lead authors on the paper, Naman Gupta and Cindy Hellsman. The paper was presented on 2020-03-14 at the International Conference on Particle Physics, after a board of Foundation personnel reviewed the paper and deemed their science sufficiently in line with baseline assumptions to be considered non-anomalous. The Gupta-Hellsman Gate operates in a similar manner to closed time-like curvatures conjectured by Gödel.
I just really quickly, I need to note that it's a very small thing, but I'm actually happy Gupta did share the credit, because in the first thing, he said something like, my research, and she was like, ours, and I thought he was gonna fucking steal it. But he held his word.
Which relies on immense amounts of energy to open, Gupta-Hellsman gates are open and sustained through the vibration of vibron particles. Proposed an extension standard model particle physics. Vibron particles vibrate in accordance to an atom's wilt. Proposed to be disrupted by like electrical charge or mass.
He kept wilt? What the fuck? Why?
Good name. A phenomenon observed by anomalies of containment is ongoing. According to Dr. Gupta and Dr. Hellsman, the process for generating sufficient wilts to open a Gupta-Hellsman gate is significantly less resource-intensive than the theoretical model of opening a sizable wormhole. The Foundation has allocated additional resources to Gupta and Hellsman's Cronus Project to build a device that demonstrates the principles within their paper. One. Below is a partial transcript from the Cronus Project lead meeting regarding the construction of a bidirectional temporal traversal device, BTTD, as proposed in their paper.
Oh, sorry.
There you're good. I can't believe they actually let us publish.
Honestly, I'm more surprised they're letting us build it.
Oh, of course they want us to build it. It's the Foundation.
Right.
Something wrong?
I guess I'm just nervous.
Don't worry, everyone is.
Except you, apparently.
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm just good at hiding it. Now, let's get to scheduling, shall we?
Right.
I think you can get this thing done in about 3 months. That sound okay to you?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
All right, we'll be testing in 3 months, and let's work backwards from there.
Man.
Addendum-2. Below is a timetable for the construction of the BTTD. Task, the Traveler Capsule design. Task lead Gupta. The deadline 2020-04-23. Completed on time, should be able to activate the BTTD from inside the capsule. Wilt generation cell design, Hellsman. Deadline 2020-05-09. Completed on 2020-05-14. Temporal stability insurance computations, Hellsman, 2020-05-21, completed on 2020-06-03. Traveler capsule construction by Gupta, deadline 2020-05-23, completed on time, additional materials have been reserved for the second capsule. Wilt generation cell construction, Hellsman, deadline 2020-06-03, completed on 2020-06-20. Testing proposal Gupta, deadline 2020-06-14, completed on time, requested a total of 3 different trials, both with forward and backward time travel. Safety checks by Hellsman, deadline 2020-06-22, notes, no answer.
So here's what I'm getting, and this is kind of an insidious and clever way to chart this, right? Just from looking at the chart. So at first, you might think, just looking at face value, like, oh, Hellsman, do you need to keep up your work? But really what it seems like to me, especially after the difference, because I assume they're doing these procedurally, between when Hellsman finished. Yeah, it seems like Hellsman's taking their time, and she's, like, doing all the computations. It seems like Gupta's rushing a little bit. And I feel like that's going to cause problems. That's my theory, based on the way this is sorted.
I'll propose an alternative take when we get to the end of this.
Okay.
Well, let's find out. On 2020-07-02, Hellsman was confronted about her inability to meet the deadlines of the projects. Below is a transcript from the meeting.
Cindy, we need to talk. We're falling behind schedule.
I know.
Like, I appreciate all of the safety checks and recalculations you're doing, but I need you to trust me.
But you know how dangerous this thing can be. If we're not right down to the 14th decimal, this could cause a catastrophic amount of damage.
So you don't trust me?
No, I trust you, but, I don't trust myself. I feel like I'm always a few steps behind you trying to play catch-up. There's something about all of this that just clicks for you, and it's not clicking for me. It's frustrating. This was supposed to be our project, but it doesn't quite feel like mine anymore.
Would you like me to tell you something that might make you feel better?
If you can, go ahead.
I know this is going to work, because it already has.
You've already used it, haven't you?
I traveled back to January because if we didn't publish by March, our research was going to be stolen.
January, but that's when we started getting experimental data.
I just set everything up is all. I knew what equations we were going to be able to extract, so I could skip a few steps.
But that was supposed to be my job.
I know, but...
Oh, he's taking away her sense of identity because he's fucking doing all the shit she was doing. That's so fucked up! No! You were good with concepts and theories, and I was good with the equations and making the numbers mean something. That was how we were supposed to divide the work, but then you just stole my equations from me.
But you already solved them! You solved them last time, all on your own! I was totally useless.
But I wasn't there last time. This time I didn't do shit!
But it's all the same you.
I don't feel like I contributed. I feel like I've been playing second fiddle.
I'm sorry. I told you the plan when I left, and you said it was fine.
I keep telling you that wasn't me. Whoever that was obviously wasn't thinking about how it would feel to have her equations stolen.
I think she knew.
Well, then she was being a dumbass.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Hellsman takes deep breaths and settles back into her chair. It's fine. Nothing can be done now. How long until we're finished with this damn project?
If we go at our predicted pace, only another month?
Thank God. Oh, Hellsman. No!
Goof is able to finish on time because it's easy to just do the same work twice.
This fucking guy! No! And the thing is, it's kind of well written because Gupta's not really a villain in this. It's just a shitty situation where you get. It's funny because usually you get fucked over by your past self, but now you're getting fucked over by your future self.
Yep.
Addendum-4. In the early morning of 2020-07-15, Site-72 experienced two major power outages, one at 3:34 a.m. and another at 3:56 a.m. Security camera footage prior to the 3:34 outage showed Dr. Hellsman accessing the primary testing area for the PTTD, logging information to the main control panel and entering the traveler capsule. Security personnel immediately ensured that the initial power outage had not resulted in a containment breach, but were able to inspect the primary testing area before the second power outage occurred, which happened less than 2 minutes after power had been re-established to the site. Initial inspection of the primary testing area occurred at 4:23 a.m., where personnel discovered a black powdery substance scattered around and inside the traveler capsule.
Oh no!
The door to the traveler capsule was closed, and readings from the control panel indicated recent use. Additionally, a letter found on the ground next to the control
So
panel.
the black powdery substance. So what I'm getting here is Gupta rushed, and the calculations were off, so there was a little bit of the decay, and I feel like each time they're going to get worse until it recreates that awful event.
Additionally, a letter found on the ground next to the control panel, below as a transcript.
Oh, is this me?
Darnell, this is for you!
I'm not sure if you will see this, since I'm not sure what happens after I activate the machine, but in case you do, know that I'm not mad. Well, not at you specifically. I know you were just trying to get our work back. I know how it must have felt to have your work stolen from you. I get it must have been frustrating and painful, and you wanted to fix that. But I was robbed of the opportunity to have a breakthrough entirely. You took my aha moment from me, and I want it back. I'm going back. I'm making sure you don't help me with my part of the project, and then I'm shoving a syringe full of amnestics up my arm so I can experience it. The feeling of discovery. That moment when I solve a problem no one else can. If I've done it before, like you've said, I should just have to reset everything and I can do it again. I don't care if the research gets stolen. At least this time it really will be our theory. On the back of the letter is a series of calculations and numbers appearing to be someone's scratch work. At the bottom of a
this
number...
is mine.
Oh, sorry. At the bottom of the number is circled, and below it is written the following.
Why do they always screw up the weight decay?
Dr. Gupta,
Dr. Gupta, who has seen... Yep. You take it.
Who was seen in security footage sleeping in his office prior to the 3:34 power outage could not be located.
Oh no. This is not...
Let's find out what happens next. So, item number, SCP-5552. Containment class Euclid. Disruption class Dark. Risk class Notice. Special containment procedures. The Cronus Project is a continuous research into the existence of SCP-5552. Description. SCP-5552 is a theoretical method to travel backwards in time. The exact nature of the SCP, as well as whether or not it can be replicated in controlled manner, is still unknown.
So this is interesting because this time we're missing all the details, so something fishy is happening here.
Discovery. Evidence for the existence of SCP-5552 occurred on 2018-0704 when reality stability beacons at Site-72 indicated a retrocausal reality shift. However, due to the lack of discontinuity in the cause and effect predictions from the beacon, it was determined that a large-scale reality-altering event did not occur. The resulting conclusion was that temporal travel must have taken place. The Cronus Project research team was directed to determine the source or subject of this temporal travel, however the search was unsuccessful. Addendum-1. Below is a timeline of the Cronus Project's progress. Date 27/11/14. Events. The Cronus Project was initiated by Drs. Naman Gupta and Cindy Helsman. On 2018-01-22, Dr. Gupta proposes a string theory-inspired hypothesis for reverse directional time travel. And then 2018-03-08, Dr. Gupta's theory was deemed highly unlikely after it did not fit any of the models created by Dr. Helsman. 2018-03-19, Dr. Gupta proposes a theory for reverse directional time travel based on quantum entanglement. 2018-05-20, Dr. Gupta's theory is contradicted by experimental evidence gathered by Dr. Helsman. 2018-07-04, Cronus Project directed to locate the source of the altered retrocausal reality shifts. So, should I read the dates out every time, or would you guys prefer that I just sort of keep going?
You can just go, I think, by like...
The indication is that they're in chronological order.
Yeah.
So, the search for source of retrocausal reality shift disbanded. Modification to current timeline deemed sufficiently insignificant.
No!
Dr. Gupta promoted the site director, leaving the Cronus Project. Dr. Helsman proposes a theory of reverse directional time travel based on classical relativity. Dr. Helsman's theory is abandoned due to the lack of consistent relativistic behaviors at the quantum scale. Dr. Helsman proposes a theory of reverse directional time travel based on quantum mechanics. The theory is abandoned for being too similar to Dr. Gupta's quantum entanglement theory. Dr. Helsman proposes a theory based on the standard model of particle physics. Dr. Helsman's theory is abandoned due to a lack of progress.
So this time, because things change every time they do it, her going back made it so they never found the theory to begin with. But it's funny because the Wendell never came up, so he really did steal their data somehow. Like he wasn't just figuring it out at the same time, right?
I'll propose the question. Why do you think it's Helsman that went back?
What? I thought it said she went back last time.
Did it?
Well, that was what her note said, right? I want it to be ours this time.
Why do you think someone was mad about the decay constant?
What?
I'll wait for a bit.
What's going
No worries.
on?
So
Also, I just have to say, the sheer size of this and like the layers you have going on is like it's such an interesting story, and it really feels like something you would read out of. I mean, obviously not the time travel and the decay, but like the whole like the way they talk, it really reads like academics, like in professorship, how they would talk to one another. I don't know, just well done. I'm really enjoying this a lot.
Thank you.
Below is a transcript of the monthly status meeting between Dr. Helsman and Dr. Gupta held on 2020-04-16.
So I see you abandoned another theory.
Yeah.
You know, it's harder for me to keep justifying your funding if you're not getting anywhere.
I know, Naman.
So, why'd you abandon this one?
I mean, really, it's the same reason I abandoned all the other ones. Not enough progress and too much pointing against it.
I thought this one seemed promising.
Really? You think that time travel being based on the rotations of gluons is promising?
I mean...
I don't even know what I was thinking when I proposed it. It's fucking stupid. We already have gluons tied to the strong force.
I just think this line of investigation is worth going down.
Naman, I've been at this for more than 2 years and all I've hit are fucking dead ends.
But I know you can do it.
That's what you've been telling me for the past year! And while they're nice words, they've been kind of useless.
Well, it's not my job to do the research.
It used to be! We used to be a team! And then you left me for what? For management? Do you even enjoy that?
I'm in this position because I want to be.
And maybe that's because you don't even enjoy research anymore. And here you are telling me to chase geese.
Or maybe it's because I was better at research.
You know what? You can fuck off. Take my funding. See if I give a shit. Helsman gets up and leaves Gupta's office, slamming the door behind her. Gupta sighs and puts his head in his hands.
She'll thank me later, or maybe not, but she'll be grateful nonetheless.
So this time, because he left as a site director, they never got it because they needed to be together as a team. Like, he went bad, but then he was like, I'll just go and let her do all the research, so she'll be happy. And then she couldn't do it without him. Okay.
He was always good with the concepts.
Oh no! I just want them to be happy, damn it.
And then -3 during the night of sorry.
There you go.
During the night of 2020-04-16, security personnel at Site 72 reported significant alteration to rooms 118, 119, and 121, which contained a Project Cronus laboratory, cubicles for Cronus personnel, and the office of Dr. Helsman, respectively. The walls, floors, ceilings, and all contents of the rooms had morphed into a black substance. Objects made of the substance maintained their shape until disturbed, at which point they would assume a more liquid-like state. Security personnel reported 3 casualties. 2 of these casualties were researcher Yufei Zhu and janitor Ivan DeVault, who were presumed to be engaged in conversation at the time of the event based on their poses at the Tower of Discovery. The third was Dr. Cindy Helsman, who was most likely listened to a voicemail on her phone. Below is a transcript of the most recent voicemail received by Dr. Helsman prior to the event.
No, she died! She fucked up the decay constant! No!
Hey, Cindy. Sorry about what I said earlier. I didn't mean most of it. Like, I didn't mean the part about being the better researcher. Honestly, I left the project because I wanted it to be your discovery. It's frustrating for both of us to see you bang your head against this problem. But if you want, I can come back to the project. We can make this our theory again.
Following the 2020-04-16 event, Dr. Gupta took over the Cronus Project. The Cronus Project was also moved from Site 72 to Site 53, after the entire eastern wing of Site 72 experienced a similar event to that described above. See Cronus Project special reports for details.
I'm so emotionally destroyed, and we're only halfway through. This kind of gives me, and I'm not, like, please don't take this the wrong way, I'm not saying it's the same thing as this, but it kind of gives me, like, that Steins Gate vibe, a little bit.
Honestly, I've gotten that before, and I have seen Steins Gate, and honestly, it's the sort of thing where, in retrospect, I definitely was influenced, but I was not actively thinking of it as I was.
No, 100%. That's not what I'm accusing you of. I say that all the time on the podcast,
yes,
but that's just what my weeb mind goes to, and it's just giving me those flashbacks, man. It's my heart.
Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna frickin' say it, and people may disagree with me, but I think this is actually better done than Steins Gate.
Aw, thank you.
All the Steins Gate fans in the comments are going to riot.
Honestly, if I was in the comments, I would riot myself.
All the Karisu fans screaming and gnashing their teeth.
Project Cronus Eyes Only. The following file describes an anomaly currently under investigation. 80 fucking episodes in, I can't say anomaly. Jesus Christ. And is level 4/5552 classified. Unauthorized access is forbidden. SCP-5552. Item number SCP-5552. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The Cronus Project continue research to confirm the details of SCP-5552. While it's possible that SCP-5552 related phenomena can be explained given our current understanding of science, they've indeed anomalous until further progress has been made. Description. SCP-5552 refers to a theoretical method of travel between parallel universes with similar cause and effect chains. Details regarding the exact nature of the SCP, as well as the parallel universe it can access, are under investigation by the Cronus Project, led by Dr. Naman Gupta and Dr. Cindy Helsman. -1. Below is a transcript of the meeting on 2018-07-04 between Dr. Helsman and Dr. Gupta, first proposing the existence of SCP-5552.
So it seems to me like they're losing a little bit of the science because they're like skipping through things each time they go, because now it's not even a theory anymore. They're deeming it still anomalous.
It was deemed anomalous in the last iteration, too, for the record.
Oh, yeah, my bad. But still the point.
But yeah,
like,
no, you're right.
They're really skipping their steps more and more, and it's causing more and more decay, and something bad's gonna happen at the end. Dr. Gupta paces back and forth in front of his desk. Dr. Helsman enters Dr. Gupta's office, at which point Dr. Gupta checks his pocket watch.
You're late.
Only by a minute.
You're still late.
Naman, are you okay? You seem a little more restless than normal. Gupta takes 3 deep breaths and then sits down at his desk.
Sorry, I'm just anxious.
Anxious about what? Paper deadline?
No.
Then what is it?
Okay, Cindy, I'm about to say something that sounds incredibly stupid, but I'm gonna need you to believe me, alright?
Okay.
I might be from the future.
Hellsman remains silent before beginning to say something. However, she stops herself.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
So I think it's like this. I know for certain I came from somewhere that on April 16th, 2020, you die and I take over the Cronus Project.
Oh my god, because of the decay, did he not retain all his memories when he went back? No! Wait, you're saying I die in 2 years?
Well, that's assuming I'm from the future, because there's another option. I'm from a parallel universe and I didn't travel in time at all.
Well, I mean, if you're from a parallel universe, then wouldn't that mean you've still traveled back in time?
No. In this scenario, I can't travel back in time. It'd be impossible. It'd just be an illusion since each of the universes are temporally offset.
I don't follow.
No, it's like time zones. Here it's 3, but in California it's noon. Here it's April 4th, but in another parallel universe it's March 6th. You can't travel backwards in time, but you can travel to a parallel universe that started a month later than this one. And that's almost the same thing.
This is not the same theory they had before! Okay, and why do you think this is what you've been doing instead of time travel?
Well, not all parallel universes are created equal. In fact, a lot of them are probably unstable, so at certain points in time, arbitrary groups of particles just, lose stability. But not entirely. They go black and they crumble, and it's like the very fabric of reality just wilts away.
You know you sound crazy, right?
Yes, but haven't I always sounded insane? Most of what I say sounds absurd, yet you'll still run the numbers for me, because we both know that I might be right.
Do you want me to start making models?
That would be fantastic.
What a legendary team these two are. I just want them to both be happy. Tell me this has a happy end. Tell me they get the reward.
No, we're just gonna we're going to finish it, and you're going to see what the ending is. I refuse to tell you if it's happy or not.
All right.
2 weeks following this proposal, Site-72 personnel reported concerns after Dr. Gupta's mental well-being. Dr. Gupta was only seen leaving his office to go to the bathroom and to get food from the cafeteria, which would then eat in his office. Dr. Green, occupying a neighbouring office, reported hearing Dr. Gupta shout the phrase, "It doesn't make sense," and other variants with similar meaning. Dr. Helmsman was requested to speak with Dr. Gupta as he refused meetings with other personnel.
Gupta is looking at the whiteboard in his office. It's filled with a flowchart. Helmsman knocks on the door to Gupta's office. This all happened because Gupta just had to have fucking credit.
I'm busy.
Even for me? Gupta opens the door slightly. After seeing Helmsman, he opens it the rest of the way. Helmsman enters.
Sorry, I'm just stressed is all.
You seem a little more than stressed. People are worried about you.
I know. I'm fine.
You know, you used to get lunch with everyone else. Might be good to get your mind off of work.
I can't.
Because...
It's just, there's so much I still can't explain. Like how I've only traveled to similar parallel universes. Why haven't I blasted myself off to a world where Earth doesn't even exist?
Well, I have some news. Not sure if it'll help or not.
I'm listening either way.
I haven't been able to get your parallel universe theory to work.
Oh.
Yeah, mostly the stability part. What you're describing just doesn't fit with anything, really.
I see.
I mean, we'll come up with another theory. Sounds like we've been able to explain everything so far.
Yeah, you're right.
Take a few days off. You said I die in 2 years, right? We still have time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
They have so much
Dr.
faith in each other, I can't handle it! My
Dr.
heart!
was approved for a vacation between 2018-07-19 and 2018-07-26.
Every shonen power friendship arc can fuck off compared to Gupta and Helmsman. This is the OG. God.
Dash 3. On 2018-07-24, Site-72 experienced a mass alteration to its molecular structure, as well as the molecular structure of all personnel materials within. This alteration resulted in all affected materials taking on a charcoal-like structure that collapses into a liquid state when disturbed. Dr. Gupta ended his vacation early, taking over the Cronus Project and moving it to Site-53.
No! She died again! Why? Why? Make it stop!
There's another iteration.
There's 2 more.
This is the happy iteration, Daniel, don't worry.
I'm getting mind broken on podcast. The fact that this one doesn't even have a script is already destroying me.
Item number SCP-5552, Object Class Euclid. Special containment procedures. Researchers continue the stabilization of SCP-5552 affected particles. Description. SCP-5552 refers to the order of a particle. Order is a measurement of how well the position, velocity, and rotation of a particle can be predicted, given the state of the universe at the time of the Big Bang.
What?
Since the state of any individual particle is influenced by its collision with nearby particles, the introduction of low-order particles results in the lowering of the order of the entire system. Macrostructures with order below a certain threshold will lose temporal stability. This lack of stability immediately results in a breaking and rearrangement of bonds between the particles to keep them anchored in a current position and treachery along the temporal axis. This manifests in the creation of a black powdery substance that occupies the same space as the structure at time of stability loss, and will collapse into a liquid-like state upon disturbance. This transformation is termed wilting.
I should probably take the addenda from
here. I was going to say, yeah.
2018-04-16 update. I was going to pitch this to Cindy today, but apparently her whole neighborhood wilted last night. 46 houses, 166 casualties. Foundation is trying to play it off as a fire. I guess that means I'm in charge of the Cronus Project again, although I don't want to rush it. Not this time. I just keep diving back into the past, but not this time. This time, I'm waiting until I know my theory works. But I think I can figure something out. There's something about this one that just feels right.
So she's dead? Oh my god. It's worse because now it seems like the wilting, the way they phrased it, it's like a common occurrence, so the decay has been set in motion. All this, she was like, what about all the bad things that could happen? He's like, it's fine. In fact, it might be good this time around. Don't worry about it. I gotta get credit.
I got a PhD after all.
What I would do as a master's student, I would do quite a bit for a first author on a paper. All right, May 3rd update. I'm finally ready to start making the models. I tried running my theory by Dr. Green. He couldn't find anything immediately wrong, but then again, he specializes in generalized reality disturbances, so this isn't exactly his field. In fact, I don't think there's anyone here who specializes in this field. Well, Cindy used to. Either way, I'm ready to start putting together the models. If there's somewhere that my theories fall apart, it's here. June 18th update. The northern wing of Site 72 wilted today. Luckily, none of my equipment was stored there, but they're moving everyone to Site 53 anyways. It gave me the same office as last time, too. I'm going to start building the BTTD now. I don't want to be screwed when this place also wilts. July 23rd update. I haven't made any progress. Fucking nothing. The modeling software Cindy used is so damn confusing. Every time I get past one error message, it throws another at me, or I learn I had all the equations all wrong. September 2nd update. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I don't know why I haven't wilted yet. In fact, I don't know how I don't wilt the moment I activate the time machine. Everything around me seems to collapse, but I'm fine. Why am I fine? I shouldn't be fine.
Wait, well, hold on. Okay, this is a crackpot theory, but is this related to the old man that destroys everything he walks by?
I don't know what you're...
Then never mind. There's like a SCP that's like an old dude. Like,
that one. I'll just go out and say no.
Okay, I figured, but that was my just my brain made a loose connection there.
No, I got you. All right. Maybe the models will give me some insight. I got Dr. Green to help me make the model run. Now all I have to do is play with the parameters until I get a lock on what makes this theory tick. September 26th update. I don't know how Cindy ever did this. There's so many constants, so many variables to tune. I looked back at her notes and they make no sense. She only made so many possibilities so quickly. Like there's some sort of an art to this I can never grasp or understand. She was so good at this. October 8th update. I think I know why I'm stable. There's only been one variable changing between each iteration. It's me, which would imply that I should be the one wilting. I should be the one crumbling, destabilizing, collapsing into a puddle of particles. But what if my order from previous jumps carries over? What if I'm being held together by the order of my original timeline? But then, if everything in my time, any given timeline should have a stable order, and I have a stable order, then the wilting must be coming from me. I'm destabling the timeline here, which is dumb now that I write it out. Of course it was all me. Of course this is all my fault. Of course I'm the reason Cindy turns into a pile of fucking ashes every time I try to fix everything. December 1st, update. Screw it. I can't get the models to work. They finished the BTT yesterday, so I'm going to go back in time and getting Cindy to do it. Then we'll be able to fix everything. I just need her help.
Oh, Why do you have to emotionally destroy me like this?
But for the record, emotionally destroying people is like it's like my calling card.
It's the dream.
It is the dream.
Next page, Darnell.
I can see it, and I'm already sad. I'm so destroyed as a person. Why are we still doing this?
Item number SCP-5552 Darnell. Objects class Keta. Special containment procedures.
Oh, fuck it.
No!
I was wrong. Everything had wilted by the time I arrived. I drove to Site 72. The whole southern side of the building had already crumbled into a black tarry mess. There were a few guards out front to keep civilians out, but other than them, the whole site was empty. They let me get back in to get my stuff. Apparently this time the Cronus Project made faster progress than last time. The time machine was mostly done. As a bonus, we reconstructed the walls out of that soft material we found at the GOC. I think 6 timelines ago now? There's still food in the cafeteria. I think I'm going to hole up here for a while. The place still has power, probably because the Foundation doesn't want to take any risk and let something escape from here that they might have forgotten to take with them. I can't stop working. I need to fix my theory. Then I'll fix everywhere else. Next section. Progress is even slower now. I don't think I can ever get these models to work for me the same way Cindy did. I read through some of the reports of wilting in other parts of the world. A long stretch of land in France, 2 towns in Thailand, and the entirety of K2 are gone.
Hello? Oh shit, did my internet go out? Oh no.
It's probably just me being... Hello?
Okay, testing.
Hi.
Okay. So when was I getting choppy? I can restart.
It was, and the entirety of K2 were gone, was the last thing I heard.
Okay. Alright. I'm afraid that the next time I look out the window, instead of seeing the forest behind Site 72, I'll see scorched ground and crumbling trees. The soft walls seem fitting. I think something about this material is resistant to wilting, but really, it really just contributes to the insane asylum feel. All I'm missing is a straitjacket. Next section. My order theory is finally dead. And no, not because I got the models to work. My pocket watch wilted. I had that since I was 16 when my grandfather gave it to me. And now it's just black dust. I'm back at square one. No theory, no models, not even someone to bounce ideas off. I've taken to talking to myself out of my head, but that only works so well. It's funny, because all the clocks in this place stopped working weeks ago. The only reliable time-telling device I have left is my computer, and honestly, I'm beginning to suspect its time zone is shifting. Next section. I googled Jonathan Wendell on a whim. Most of what I read just made me mad. Got his PhD from Stanford in theoretical physics, has tenure at Caltech, leading a joint project with Oxford on time travel. A lot of papers published, a lot of talks given. But then I started reading about his personal life, and turns out he never owned a dog. So then how did he come up with the name Wilt? I got the name originally from him, but where did he get it from? I mean, I have a theory. All I'm good for is theories. But I've been using wilting to describe the destabilization process. It's just an accurate description of the phenomenon. Wilt. Everything turns black and then collapses, like a flower in winter, wilting away. I remember Cindy wanted to go back in time and do everything over again. She wanted to kick me off the project, wipe her memories, and solve the problem herself.
So he does remember things from the past.
Yeah, he remembers.
So he was making all that bullshit up about not remembering.
Set up everything to just be the way you would have wanted it. And then forget what happens next so you can experience it yourself anew. What if I've seen all of this before? What if Cindy saw all of this before? What if the only way to stop it was to stop us from inventing time travel in the first place? We'd go back, give Wendell our research, but not the proper numbers. He'd publish first and then perish first, and when he makes a machine, we'd think our theory was wrong. We'd stop. God, we're too clever for ourselves. Except I can't prove it.
Wait, who's weird?
I can't prove jack shit.
You're all alone, Gupta. Who's weird?
Maybe he doesn't have a dog in this timeline, but he had a dog in that one. Or maybe he just came up with the name on his own in a happy little coincidence. It's just a theory. Another useless theory. Next section. I miss Cindy. Next section. I hate this. I have nothing. I feel close to an idea, but it slips out of my fingers and I lose my train of thought entirely. I've been here for far too long. I'm banging my head against the walls and I don't even feel anything because they're soft. There has to be a reason. I've been able to travel back in time reliably, and yet I can't explain why. It's pathetic. I'm not used to doing this on my own. It's not like I was ever able to solve these problems on my own. It was our theory, after all. It took two of us to solve. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe the theory is mocking me for trying to solve it myself, running me through a maze with no exit. It was kind of silly for us to think we'd be able to travel back in time in the first place, wasn't it? That we would be able to make it work even though no one else has. Maybe things would be better without our theory. You know, that doesn't sound so bad. I have little else to lose.
There's one more.
Open current SCP-5552 documentation.
Item number, SCP-5552. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. All SCP-5552 instances remain level 4 classified. Description. SCP-5552 refers to a series of 6 documents that appeared within the Site-72 database on 2020-04-14. All documents appear to be related to SCP-5552, a previously unassigned SCP slot. Documentation itself has not demonstrated anomalous properties, however, all being tabbed with an upload timestamp of 13:43:28, which has been estimated to be the same time as what Dr. Naman Gupta began a talk at the 6th International Conference on Physics titled A Comprehensive Theory on Bidirectional Time Travel.
Oh, so he gave the talk.
Investigation has been launched into possible anomalous phenomenon connected with SCP-552. However, no conclusive evidence could be found to corroborate details within these documents. To avoid possible time continuity errors, parties mentioned within the SCP were not informed nor directly questioned about the contents of SCP-5552. The main anomalous properties of the documents is their unexplained appearance within the Site-72 database. Addendum SCP-5552-1. On 2020-05-02, Foundation satellites detected a large visual disturbance in Nunavut, Canada. An area of 20 acres of land had become entirely black, including all flora and fauna residing in that area. GOC resources informed the Foundation as a result of a catastrophic failure during an attempt to realize Dr. Naman Gupta's research. As a result of this development, Dr. Alan Green was directed to reopen an investigation into SCP-5552. Below is Dr. Green's interview with Dr. Cindy Helsman that took place on 2020-05-06 under the guise of a post-mortem for her Cronus Project.
Hello. Oh, wait, no, I'm Cindy, my bad.
Danoni, would you like to be green or should I be green?
You can be green. I've sort of settled myself in as the narrator here.
Sounds good. Hello, Cindy.
Hey, Alan.
I know it's been rough, losing the project and all. Let's just get through this wrap-up interview quickly.
Seems a little late. They reassigned me 2 weeks ago.
It is, but you know how the bureaucracy here goes.
Whatever. There isn't much to wrap up anyways. Go ahead.
Does the term wilt sound familiar to you?
Not really.
What about a Wendell conduit?
Haven't heard of that either. Am I supposed to?
You're doing fine. Don't worry about it. Now, do you know a Dr. Naman Gupta?
Yeah, he's the lead author of the GOC paper about time travel.
Have you actually met Dr. Gupta?
No. Honestly, I still haven't even seen his talk.
That's understandable.
He died recently, right?
Yes, he did. There was an accident when he was testing his time machine.
Huh.
Is everything okay, Cindy?
I don't get it.
You don't get what?
Helsman wipes her eyes again. I'm crying, Alan. Why am I crying? Green walks to the other side of his desk and puts an arm around Helsman.
I have a theory, but I don't think it's important. Not everything needs an explanation. And luck.
I'm gonna be locking myself up in my room and listening to Simple Plan for the rest of the day. So, holy shit! I'm just emotionally destroyed. I just wanted them to be happy. That was brilliantly written, just so well done. I can't even begin to describe it. I know that's not like really concrete critique evidence, but just fuck Kirby, that was really good. It's a 13 out of 10.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Wow. This is probably my favorite thing I've written on the site.
This might be one of the best things I've read. I'm not even gonna lie. That was just so brilliantly done from start to finish, and it destroyed me.
It is fantastic. Yeah,
I didn't make as many quips as usual because I was just so fucking enthralled. I had to know what was going on. Oh my god. Oh wow. That was amazing. Everyone go freaking upvote this article right now. Actually, don't, because that's like upvote manipulation. But you know what I mean. If you liked it, go do that.
Honestly, I always kind of wanted to do like my own like reading of this because Nomadic Archives did a fantastic reading of this. Like if you haven't seen their reading of it, go also check that out. It's great. They have a lot of additional visuals. But the way that they read for Gupta is a very valid interpretation, but very much not how I read it. And so it was fun to be able to kind of step into those shoes and get like my author voice onto it.
Okay, and what was their name again?
Nomadic Archives, I believe.
Nomadic Archives, got it.
So yeah, shout out for them for doing also a reading of this absolute gargantuan piece.
And you know what? Here's the crazy thing. You might not believe me. I don't know how much of our podcast you watch, but I've got pretty bad ADHD. So usually when I see a long article, even when I enjoyed it at the end, I like cringe a bit because it's like, oh god, it's so long. That did not happen with this. I was from beginning to end.
You didn't know though, because
well, no, because there were parts of it that looked long. But, like, still, I was just, like, so fucking enthralled from the get-go. And, you know, it's so funny, because when it started, I didn't know if I would be because of all the science talk. But just, like, oh, my God. I can't get over how freaking good this is.
So, funny story, when I was first shopping this around for critique, one of the people who I showed this to is, you might know some of her stuff, Absent-Minded Nihilist.
Yeah.
She read that first, like, just that first description, and she turned to me, she's like, are you sure you, like, this seems very much not anything close to what I write. I'm like, just keep going. I know it's very sciencey, just let it go.
I'm looking at the rating, too. It's
two
like
paragraphs, you'll be fine.
All upvotes, which it should be, because this is fucking amazing. I don't think there's a single downvote.
I believe there is, but it's from... There's people who just don't like format screws, or, like, I kind of take a little bit of...
Oh, I do see one in there, yeah, but like by and large,
but they're very few. They're very few, and few and far in between.
This was awesome. Thank you for coming on. Holy crap, man! Is there anything else you want to plug while you're here before we do the comment reading and let you go? Because I know you got a meeting soon.
I am trying to think. Is there anything else? I plugged the podcast, plugged the other reading of this. I don't think so. No, I think that I got all the plugs that I wanted in. I'm glad that you both enjoyed. Oh, right. I forgot to congratulate you, Darnell, on your recent breakout article onto the SCP scene.
I fear for when that Yearcast episode comes out, because people are gonna think I didn't put thought into it because I was like so stressed and trying to juggle it. Yeah, basically I did it as part of a challenge. It was fun, but then I posted it, and because of it was on the podcast, got a lot of upvotes, so people thought a lot of bad things about me, and it became super controversial. And I don't know, man. I had fun with it, and
was a ride.
Yeah, I'm already working on a tale that is not Milk Jesus related.
Outside the canon.
Yeah, there was something I was going to write with Tam, but I don't think we'll have time because of my new schedule. So I'm working with a tale. I can talk about it here a little bit if you guys want. I don't have all the concepts ironed out, though, so it's still very in its simple stages, so it won't sound impressive. But my idea is, hang on, I linked it to Tan. Okay. It's called, like, Don't Write an SCP at 3 a.m., and it's kind of going to be, like, this guy who writes a spooky piece of internet fiction, and then, like, the next day, strange occurrences start happening, things don't seem quite right, and it kind of builds up, and there's going to be, like, this creepy factor, and then at the end, he's sort of, like, forcefully amnesticized. It's going to be implied. I'm not going to be, like, very deliberate, like, the Foundation came, and then it's just going to kind of end on, like, an eerie note. Like, it's still very bare bones. When I'm kind of workshopping this idea, I want to get rolling to write a tale about. And then hopefully people won't just think I'm a hack writer, because my real regret is that people think that that's like the extent of my writing capabilities now.
I don't think most people attribute that to you. I think most people attribute like that that article is mostly on like Rounder and the other people from the podcast that were on it. I don't think that I don't think they read past either Jade Dune or Rounder has on an author, and like I think they just kind of stop at that point.
Really? I should have been the first one listed, I think.
No, you did. You're on it. I just am unconvinced people noticed, if I'm being entirely honest.
They stole your credit, Darnell. You need to go back in time.
Oh my god, no! Emotional version where I keep going back on time with the podcast and Tanhoney wilts away.
Oh
God, well that was amazing. Thank you so much. Do you want to stick around for the comment reading, or do you have to get moving?
I have 30 minutes. I have like 20, 30 minutes, so I can stick around.
All right, I'll sort this by noon. We'll try to knock these out. These are from the Quantum Guest episode. So this is actually episode 79, Tan, not 80.
Yeah, whatever, kid.
Wait, shit! Before we do the comments, I have to give an announcement. I should have done this at the beginning, I realize. So after this week, I'm starting my new job, and it's at the exact same time as Tan and I normally record. So now we'll be doing all our recordings on Saturday and Sunday bulk. So that means that the podcast episode after this one will be recorded the day after this is released, and all future podcast episodes, at least for a while, will be recorded on Sunday. So there will be a smaller window of time to get your comment in if you want to be in the reading.
Yeah, only true discovering SCP fans will be read out.
Yeah, and if there's like a little bit of like we don't necessarily immediately respond to comments in other series, that's why. But yes, first from Jimmy's Colossal Nutsack.
I'm sorry.
Nice username. Says, question, what is your favorite color? Mine's blue. What about you guys?
Mine's red.
I'm a big green fan myself.
Wow, we got the three kings over here. Blue, red, green.
The Triforce.
Woo.
Banker Paul says, gotta love Quantum's voice, and then I'm not going to read their false prophet password.
That's not the password, Blanker Paul, and I don't even listen to the episode.
Yeah. Shythalia says, yes, the Fifthist Church's new comedy show, The Funny Five. The Federal Bureau of Control, or just the old house itself from the game Control, counts as anti-memetic, right? I don't know.
I've seen a playthrough of that game. I believe the oldest house is sort of, you don't notice it. So I guess kind of.
War Eagle
I have not touched Control at all, so.
Yeah, I have no clue. War Eagle 20.
Now.
Maybe. Well, we're still getting through games right now, and we are now on an incredibly tight recording schedule for.
When we're done with the current one.
Yeah. War Eagle 21 says, hello, Discovering Metastasized Angry Meme Complexes. Jolly good episode, gentlemen. The Anti-Memetics Division canon is growing on me as I continue following your podcast. Your readings on the relevant SCPs and tales, along with Quantum's behind-the-scenes analysis, helps me understand the concepts of memetics and anti-memetics within the SCP universe is. Has anyone read and or listened to the NES Godzilla creepypasta? I stumbled across it a couple days ago. Funny Five and on and on and on. Actually, October's coming up, Tan. Soon we'll be able to do our creepypasta again, this time with actual audio.
Oh, yeah.
The special will come back.
I have actually read that creepypasta. I thought it was okay.
I don't think I have, but I'll take Tan's word. Comedy Man Kelp says, gosh darn, I thought any possible explanation of what 055 really is would be disappointing, but man, do I love Quantum's explanation, even if it's not the official canon.
Honestly, Quantum's ability to like Quantum's work with the anti-memetic stuff is almost unfair.
Yeah.
Like, it's too good, and it makes everything else pale in comparison. It's like why writing good anti-memetics is hard. It's because the bar has been set far too high.
Yeah, there's nothing else
I
to
would
do.
say the same thing kind of goes with, and I'm not trying to put any authors on a pedestal or knock anyone else down, but I think Hippo and, like, very creepy, like, scary articles, not that other authors don't do it well as well, but I feel like it sets such a high standard that when I read a more mediocre one, then it doesn't really, it's like, I could be reading Hippos.
Yeah. Why would I read anything when I could just be reading something by Hippo?
Yeah, exactly. Smiles Guy says, might I recommend SCP-5658, Gravitating in the Moonlight by AnAnomalousWriter? That's our boy! I remember this when he was making it. He was posting about it a lot in the writing channel. It's space-themed, and I think there's a Tanhoney reference.
What?
Maybe. Says, read 29 minutes. The term hermetically sealed actually refers to ancient medieval traditions of alchemy and astrology, which often were associated with the god Hermes, blah, 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 blah. So if it's made really hard to get the metaphor, blah, 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 blah. I don't mean this as any call-out. It's a cool fact, and it actually sort of magic, so I was right. That's all.
You skipped all the context and just got to the bit that you wanted.
Yes. Good Day says, I love 3125 to death. What an amazing SCP. Also, thank you, Darnell and Quantum, for the amazing answers to my question. Tanhoney, get owned! As for recommendations, how about 5538, Holder of Abnormalities? Yes, it's exactly what you think it is.
Actually, I realized I have one funny story about 3125. So, back when, I think it was like March of 2018, there was like a huge surge of format screw articles. Because that's when, like, Tanhoney, you posted 3890, the Forget Me Not one. Crokenbosch posted the Forget Me. It's called Forget Me Not. It's okay. You have so many articles that I totally blame you for forgetting some that you've written.
Crokenbosch
posted like 3939, the Choose Your Own Adventure article. And I had at that time posted 3393, which is also like an anti-memetic format screw. And for a while, it was the highest rated anti-memetic SCP that wasn't 055. But like last year, 3125 finally took it over, and I was kind of sad.
Damn.
I was beating out Quantum a little bit almost for a while, and then 3125 reclaimed its rightful spot.
Damn. Also, frickin' Tanhoney, can we read this Choose Your Own Adventure article? Hello?
That's not mine. Oh yeah.
That one's not. That one's from Crokenbosch.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't have to
There's
be
like
Tanhoney.
100.
I wanna read that on the podcast.
You know what? We'll read it next episode.
All right.
You're gonna first.
A bush from the island of Borneo says, everyone is asking what is 055, but it's obviously a square hole and or a square peg. As for recommendations, you should either read the rewrite of the 001 proposal, Keter Duty, or SCP-5001. A lot of people have told us to read 5001, and a lot of people seem to think that should have won the 5000 spot, so they're probably...
Well, they're wrong.
Wait, which one? Is that Sacrosanct, or is that...
That's Sacrosanct, yeah.
What's Sacrosanct?
Sacrosanct is... Yeah. I'm surprised that people think... honestly, hot take. I think the best thing out of the 5000 contest, sorry, Tanhoney, was 5002. 5002 slaps.
Which one was 5002? Did we read that?
A Death in Containment by Peace.
No,
Oh, no,
I haven't read that one yet.
It's
Let's
so
read that. I'll probably agree with you. I like to say that every contest.
We'll read it next episode.
No, we already said we're doing the Choose Your Own Adventure. Lan says, great episode, guys. Thanks for answering my question, Tan and Quantum Smile. See, now I got left out that time. You're good. There have been a lot of short-form SCPs lately, even though they're in Series 7. So my So my recommendation is a short-form episode. Wow, I know just the short-form SCP to read. You guys are gonna love it. You may not get it, but your kids are gonna love it. Raul Alves says, yo, nice. I'll keep these comments medium to forgive you guys. This episode was great. My questions weren't that good. Your questions were fine. I didn't think of anything interesting to say, such an astonishing writer, but I appreciate y'all reading.
It's alright, I don't mind.
I did toe surgery the other day, so I'm confined to my bed eating medication as you read this comment. Your content is, in a way, something that relieves me of the pain of surgery. Take that as you will. Aww. And Tanhoney, even if you lie to me, I appreciate you for the content all of you deliver. SCP Tale/Tale recommendation 5552 our stolen theory. Wait a minute.
How lucky are you, Raul?
Holy shit! Raul Alves! You won today. The password.
I have to admit, I didn't see this comment beforehand, so that was a coincidence.
Password funny5. P.S. Last comment was me complimenting DJ Cactus, by the way. Sorry for making it too long. By the way, what's the password this week? I think it should be Walk the Plank.
Good, sure.
That's solid. That's solid.
Thought Experiments and Other Stuff says, boys, please do SCP-5555. Didn't we do 5555, or am I insane?
We did not.
1480, which is amazing, and 5004, Shit Get Wild, featuring Super Wizard Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Alright. Adoxage B says, this episode is a lifesaver. I was not in a good mood due to some personal problems, but this cheered me up. Thank you, Tan, Darnell, Quantum, and Anomalous. Recommendation would be for Anomalous to choose an SCP for the next episode, or 5004. We have a lot of freaking recommendations I want to do. I want to see the Choose Your Own Adventure.
We'll do the next episode.
We'll figure it out. Estimated time of arrival? I don't know what the ETA is here. Tan, I would definitely love to read a published book version of Aetheral Space. Well, do I have some good news for you? In only several months to several years' time, you will have your wish. Thank you to Quantum for answering my question, Smile. The password is funny5. Have you seen the yellow sign says, yes, 2 episodes with guest stars in a row. Well, prepare for 3, baby. Tanhoney must be feeling generous, or has some wicked plot plan to devastate us. Edit, please read the top reply to this comment. I also noticed how 3125 is a bit similar to the Black Moon 001 proposal, which was written by who I totally don't know. Andriana Renivo, the top comment is like, Andre wants credit for getting our guests on the podcast.
Well, except they're wrong about the third one.
Yeah, so get owned.
trust me, this was much better than having the yurt on. I can say that from the bottom of my heart.
Woo! I don't need to catch yurt heat. I already got enough heat from yurt. I can't.
I will throw as much yurt heat as I can because that's just my modus operandi, and also Rounders. Rounder will easily throw the heat back, and you know what? That's fine.
All right. Anything you need to say, Tan?
We've not read Anomalous' comment. What the fuck?
Yes. An anomalous writer says, huge thanks to Quantum for answering my questions. Smile. Anti-memetics is probably the most interesting aspect of the SCP universe. P.S. La Password is funny 5. P.S. First time doing suggestions, but please consider 5001 or 6004 sometime.
We'll do the next episode.
Oh my god, I hate you, Tan.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, once again, thank you for coming on, Kirby. This was super fun. And that
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that article destroyed me emotionally, and I will never be the same.
You know what? That's mission accomplished right there.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Bye!
Bye!